Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, thank you for joining our presentation. Today we will discuss an important issue in business ethics, Nestlé Malaysia and their claim of using sustainable palm oil. But before that, we will introduce ourselves. My name is Alhud bin Suhata. My number matric is 076250.
Okay, my name is Asma Kili Binti Mahir and my number metric is 076001.
Hi, my name is Arina Aisha binti Syahrul Izwan and my number metric is
076321.
My name is Hadi Akhtar bin Saifuddin and my metric number is 075787.
And my name is Muhammad Aznafa bin Haris Nasutan and my metric number is 075622.
First, let's explain what greenwashing is. Greenwashing happens when a company pretends to be environmentally friendly to attract customers, but they are not really doing much to help the environment. This is a dishonest marketing tactic. In Malaysia, people care more about the environment these days. So some company make a big claim, but sometimes those claims turn out to be false or exaggerated.
Greenwashing is a problem because it misleads people. Nestlé Malaysia is a good example of this issue. Nestlé is a big food and a drink company that told the public that they use sustainable palm oil. Sustainable palm oil means a palm oil that is grown in a way that protects forests and treat worker friendly. Nestlé said they follow strict rules for buying palm oil and they even work with a group that certify product as eco-friendly. However, in 2023, some environmental groups like Greenpeace investigated Nestlé supplier. They found evidence that Nestlé was still buying palm oil from farm linked to cutting down forests and taking land from local communities. This means Nestlé claims did not match what's actually happening on the ground.
This situation raises serious questions about the company's ethics and responsibility. Let's analyze the main issue one by one. First, think about stakeholders, which are all the people involved like customers, employees, and investors. When Nestle makes false green claims, consumers who want to help the environment feel cheated. They may lose trust in the brand and stop buying its products. Employees and marketers also suffer. They may feel bad or confused if they have to promote a product as eco-friendly when it is not. Investors and company leaders can feel damaged too. If people find out a company lie about being green, the company image and stock value can drop. In fact, studies show that when a company is caught greenwashing, customers and even regulators become more cynical. This can lead to customers leaving stock price dropping and worker morale going down. All this problem can follow a company for a long time.
The second issue is environmental impact. Greenwashing usually means that the promised environmental benefits are not real. For Nestle, if the sustainable palm oil claim is false, then deforestation and habitat destruction continue. In Malaysia, palm oil farming often leads to cutting down the forests, draining peatlands and releasing a lot of carbon into the air. When Nestle say they are protecting forests, but they actually are not, it allows more trees to be cutting down in secrets. People who buy Nestle product think they are being eco-friendly, so they keep buying them. Meanwhile, forests and wildlife keep getting harmed. Greenpeace monitoring showed that Nestle had many deforestation alerts in its supply chain that suggest tens of thousands of hectares of forest could be destroyed each year. In other words, greenwashing here could be making environmental damage worse by hiding the truth.
Okay, for the third issue is about social welfare and trust. Greenwashing hurts society breaking trust. When a company lies about helping the environment, it takes people who are trying to do the right thing. This can cause a backlash against not just that company, but the whole industry. For example, honest palm oil producers may suffer if consumers decide to boycott all palm oil products out of anger. Greenwashing also with public effort. People spend time fighting fake claims instead of real problems. In Malaysia, this accusation can spark strong public reaction or distract media and government from real solution. In the end, misleading the public about being sustainable is a form of consumer deception. It harms the common good because society is kept from solving the environmental problems.
Now let's look at this issue from the perspective of Islamic business ethics. Islam has very clear rules about honesty and fairness in trade. The Prophet Muhammad SAW taught that anyone who cheats is not part of our faith community. He said, he who cheats us is not one of us. This means fraud and deception are strictly forbidden. When a company like Nestlé say its products are sustainable, but the truth is different, it is breaking this rule. Islam also has guideline in the Quran. For example, in Surah Hud, it say, give full measure and weigh in justice. Do not defraud people of their due, nor go about spreading corruption in the land. Lying about environmental benefit is a way of defrauding people and spreading corruption. It breaks the trust amanah that consumer place in label and company. In short, greenwashing is a clear example of forbidden behavior called gharar deception in Islamic term. It betrays the trust that stakeholders have, which is a serious violation in Islamic ethics.
To analyze further, let's examine the Nestlé case using some specific Islamic ethical principle. One principle is maslahah, which means public interest or welfare. Greenwashing goes against maslahah because it misleads the public with false claim. Instead of improving the environment, it may actually make things worse. The Quran warns against people who claim to be reformers while actually causing corruption on earth. Greenwashing is similar, it's pretend to do good but hide harm.
Another principle is tawhid, which in this context reminds us that our creation is one and interconnected. It teaches us that natural resources are a trust from Allah and must be cared for. The Quran tells us not to be wasteful or extravagant with what God has given. For example, it says, eat and drink, but do not be extravagant. Indeed, Allah does not like those who are extravagant. If a company deceives people by saying it cares for nature but actually exploit it, that is not being thankful or respectful of our creation.
Next is khilafah, meaning stewardship or being a vicegerent on earth. Islam says humans are appointed to look after the earth. This means we should protect it, not misuse it. A verse in the Quran says Allah will make human a successor on earth. This entrusts us with a duty to act responsibly. Greenwashing is the opposite of this duty. It is like claiming to protect the earth while secretly destroying it. That betrays the role of khilafah we were given.
Another principle is mas'uliyah, accountability. In Islam, every person is responsible for what they do, including business actions. The Prophet ﷺ said, each of you is a servant, and each of you is responsible for his flock. This means leaders and everyone in charge have to take care of what they manage. If a Nestlé executive or marketer spreads false claims, they are not being responsible stewards. They will be held accountable for those lies in the eyes of God and society.
We can also compare this idea with the modern concept of ESG. ESG is a way for business to measure how responsible they are. The E stand for environment. In Islamic term, taking care of the environment is like fulfilling an amanah, trust from Allah. Nestlé claims to use sustainable palm oil, but evidence show environmental harm instead. They break both the E in ESG and the Islamic duty of khilafah. The S is social. Islam says treat people fairly and protect public interest, maslahah. If Nestlé supplier exploit worker or mislead customer, that is against social responsibility in both ESG and Islamic ethics. Trust amanah is broken and the welfare of people is hurt. The G for governance. This is about honesty, transparency and accountability in a company management. Islam emphasizes truthfulness, siddiq and accountability mas'uliyah in leadership. If Nestlé continue to claim sustainability despite knowing about harm, that show poor governance ethically. In both ESG and Islam, leaders must be honest about their action and ready to fix problems.
So, in conclusion, the Nestlé Malaysia case highlights how serious greenwashing can be. The company claims of sustainable were contradicted by reality. From an Islamic perspective, this is a major ethical breach. Islam teaches us that honesty, siddiq, trust, amanah, and accountability, mas'uliyah, are fundamental in business. Greenwashing involves gharar, which Islam forbids. It also violates the duty of khilafah to protect the earth and the goal of maslahah to benefit society. The Quran explicitly command us to act justly and not to spread corruption. For example, it says, and do not defraud people of their things, and do not commit abuse on the earth, spreading corruption. Quran, Juzuk 26, sentence 1830. The Prophet ﷺ also warned that anyone who cheats in a business is not part of our community.
Therefore, companies like Nestlé in Muslim majority countries must do more than just talk about sustainability. They should act on those words with real evidence. We should all hold companies accountable. Consumers, workers, and leaders have a role in this. If we see something wrong, Islam encourages us to speak up or act, even if it's just to educate others. True sustainability is not just a marketing label, it's living according to the value of justice, trust, and stewardship.
The Nestle case teaches us that aligning corporate behavior with ethical value is essential. It is not enough to say a product is eco-friendly. We must ensure it truly is. By doing this, businesses can build real trust and make a positive impact. In Islam, respecting people and nature is not optional. It's a moral duty.
Okay, thank you for listening. We hope this case study help you to understand why ethical business practices matter, especially from an Islamic perspective. We believe that when companies commit to real, honest sustainability, everyone benefits our environment, our society, and the integrity of our faith.
Thank you for watching.